Good afternoon, CEO J-Tops, JTWC. Start in the upper levels in the northern hemisphere. On the IR shot, we were seeing some extra spinning.
At Pearl Harbor, Hawaii, home port for the U.S. Navy's Pacific Fleet, the Joint Typhoon Warning Center is tracking a storm in the Western Pacific.
This just came in. All right, forecast intensity.
Wow, that has increased significantly.
Hurricane-force storms in this area are called typhoons. The Joint Typhoon Warning Center is there to alert U.S. military assets if one is considered a threat. The new storm is still a long way from land, but its behavior is troubling. It's intensified far more rapidly than expected. Predicted to pass safely to the north of Guam, it's heading west towards Asia. The officer on duty is Lieutenant Caitlin Fine.
If this really is rapidly intensifying, our next warning will likely be more intense.
Its terrifyingly rapid growth has marked this typhoon as a special case, and even inspired its name, Hagibis. A Filipino word meaning speed. As they watch, the intensification becomes even more explosive.
This is the best one we have.
And it's just getting started.
We see rapid intensification pretty frequently, but this degree of rapid intensification was really, really fast. This is Tropical Storm Hagibis at 50 knots on the 6th of October at 0600 Zulu. And you can see it's wrapping, but it's not that well organized, it's not that strong. 24 hours later, at 0600 on the 7th of October, it is 150 knots, and then 160 knots, and then 165 knots.
Overnight, Hagibis has undergone some of the most rapid intensification ever seen. Its maximum wind speeds have increased by 100 miles per hour, making Hagibis a Category 5 super typhoon. The most powerful storm of the year anywhere on Earth. At 950 miles across, it is one of the largest typhoons ever recorded. In a matter of days, this megastorm could make landfall in East Asia. Around the world, our cameras are with forecasters as they battle to predict where Hagibis will go next and who lies in its path.
So just one day later, and the model guidance has shifted significantly from this. Bigger spread, our model guidance showed a straight northward path there at the end through 120 hours. Then one day later, model guidance has shifted, showing a more pronounced recurve and landfall on Tokyo.
The forecasts are unanimous. In less than 3 days' time, Hagibis will make a direct hit on Tokyo, Japan. One of the most populated regions on Earth. As Hagibis bears down on Japan, vessels filming for National Geographic must react fast to the news it's headed their way.
Good morning, everyone. PW Shinano at Kashima Port. Well, you can see the seas are not so bad at the moment. For the next 2 days' time, it would be very, very bad weather over here. And probably the port would be closed down.
Oil tanker the BW Shinano is heading from Kashima near Tokyo to China. But her planned route would put her on a collision course with Hagibis. Instead, Captain Talati makes the decision to depart immediately and head north and then west to put the Japanese islands between her and the typhoon. Hagibis is now less than 24 hours from Japan.
Japan bracing as a powerful typhoon is expected to make landfall in the coming hours.
Japan has issued its highest possible level of warning, with 1/3 of its entire population advised to evacuate or move to a higher floor.
Everybody is quite concerned with the strength of what's about to hit us.
Those that remain are racing to board up their houses and businesses, and the nation's many fishermen are moving their boats as far inland as they can.
The water in the river is moving faster than normal, and apparently there's gonna be huge storm surges, and I'm a little curious to see what effect that will have on this river. Like, is it gonna overflow?
Shinano's detour into the Sea of Japan means she is more than 400 miles from the heart of Hagibis, but still experiencing its effects.
Captain reporting. Overcast skies, strong winds, rough seas. This is the effect of the storm Hagibis.
Had she not moved, it could have been much worse. As Hagibis meets cooler water and hits land, its winds de-intensify to the equivalent of a Category 2 hurricane. But not enough to make Japan safe. As it makes landfall, the supercell thunderstorms from inside the typhoon spawn a violent tornado. Hagibis' large size and the long time it's spent over open ocean means it is carrying an unprecedented volume of water, which falls as rain. As its core crosses Japan's main island of Honshu, some areas receive 3 feet of rainfall in just 24 hours. Rivers burst their banks, and mudslides engulf houses. Catastrophic flooding, rather than high winds, have become the killer in this typhoon. Hagibis causes $15 billion worth of damage, and 98 people tragically lose their lives. As Hagibis leaves behind a broken Japan, forecasters fear it may not be the end of this rule-breaking monster. Thousands of miles away, our cameras are with crab fishermen in the Aleutian chain, waiting to start their season. But Hagibis is about to change everything.
It's gonna be a heck of a blow with a lot of wind and a lot of waves.
After devastating Japan, Typhoon Hagibis is mutating.
Having made landfall in Tokyo, we determined that it was extratropical, and in this infrared image here at 1000 Z on the 13th of October, you can see all the convection is displaced as it's being blown away by the jet at the upper levels of the atmosphere.
As it leaves behind the warm waters that birthed it, Hagibis is undergoing a transformation. No longer drawing energy from the heat of the tropical waters, it is now powered by the extreme difference in temperature, where hot and cold air meet to become an extratropical cyclone. Less organized, more chaotic, and much, much bigger.
It's going to head northeast, carried along by the jet, into the Bering Sea. But certainly, it's still moving on with a lot of energy.
In its extratropical form, Hagibis has entered the jet stream and is being catapulted northeast, directly towards the Aleutian Island chain and the Bering Sea, home of the Alaskan king crab fleet.